It's time for the X and Y Show with your host, Mr. Roosevelt. He talks about man topics, lady topics, and relationships. He talks about love, sex, and infidelities. He even gives good tips. There is no other show that compares to the X and Y Show.
Oh yeah. Sit back, take your clothes off, and relax. It's time for the X and Y Show, where real relationship issues are talked about and addressed. The only place on the planet that tackles the topics that everyone wants to talk about, but no one is brave enough to address. Nothing escapes X and Y, baby. Now, here's your host, Roosevelt Colbert.
And greetings, and greetings. Welcome to another segment of the X and Y Show. I'm your host, Roosevelt, and I'm glad to be back. For those of you who follow the show, you know I've been out because of these damn hurricanes, Irma, and then right behind it was Maria, and it's just been really fucked up. I hate to say that, but it really has. And I admit, Irma had me a little scared there. It really had me a little scared. So I'm thinking about my future residence in the city of Miami. But they're all gone now. It's still a hurricane season, but, you know, as we get closer to November, you know, the waters are being cooled or cooler. So, you know, it's less likely that a hurricane will form. So the closer we get to November, the better. So I don't think any will be forming out there anytime soon. But who knows? But anyway, let's just hope not. Anyway, glad to be back. I want to wish all the people in Puerto Rico and all of the U.S. Virgin Islands and all of the other islands that some islands got hit twice. Houston, all the people that are affected by the hurricane, just want to keep them in my prayers, and hopefully everything will be all right. And that's some shit, man, to be looking in your house and waters to your chest. I mean, that's some shit. So, you know, and trust me, and not having power, a couple of days, 4 or 5 days, no AC, your food going bad. You know, that's real. I mean, I went through that a little bit here in Miami with no power, and just one day bad enough. 4 or 5. Some people was out power for 2 weeks. So that's some real shit. I hope, you know, and you know, it's kind of scary because, you know, we didn't get the full brunt of it. You know, we just got a little brush, and we got fucked up. You know, power being out, trees and shit. And, you know, it's like, damn, what if a missile hit around this motherfucker? I'm like, shit, we just got a little wind. What if a tomahawk come out of there? You know, from that crazy bastard in North Korea. But, you know, everything turned out all right. And all you can do is, you know, thank God and get. For the most part, everything turned out okay. Everybody in my family all right, you know, and that's all you can ask for. So, without further ado, let's get started on tonight's episode. Before I get started on tonight's episode, I'm going to read a quick letter that I received. It was from Katie. Katie is a RN in Tennessee. I don't know if that's her real name or not. Probably not. But she's in Tennessee. And she said, Roosevelt, like your show sometimes. But I really felt that it was offensive when you said that female nurses / doctors try to peep looks from male patients. Then she goes on to say that, you know, we've seen many of them. There's nothing new. We don't try to look and get cheap thrills out of male patients. I feel that you should apologize to all the female medical personnel over the United States. I disagree with that opinion 100%. Other than that, I like your show. Keep up the good work most of the time. All right, Katie. Well, I'm not apologizing because, now, don't get me wrong. Do I think every female doctor or nurse try to get cheap thrills from looking at the male patient's dick? No, absolutely. I do not think that. Do I think that every man gynecologist get cheap thrills out of looking at women's pussy all day? No, absolutely not. I don't think that. But for the most part, yes, a lot of them do. I've seen it with my own eyes. I'm not just talking out of the dirt here. I've seen women, at nurse stations talking about, did you see, you need to go into room 3A. Oh my God. Oh, looking at male patient's dick. And there's nothing wrong with that per se. They're human. I mean, they're women, and they see something that they like, and they get fantasized. Just like a man. They see a attractive woman, they're going to talk about it. They're human. But don't try to be coming at me like, you've seen plenty of them and nothing excites you anymore, because that's a bunch of bullshit. That's a bunch of bullshit. That's why when I do get married, my wife will have a female gynecologist. Fuck that. But, to each his own. But I'm just saying I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen women nurses. I've seen, women doctors even, talk about male genitalia that they've seen. And I've seen vice versa as well. It's not just the women. But my point is, don't be saying that, you've seen many of them and it doesn't matter, because that's a bunch of bullshit. You're human. So it is what it is. It's always going to be, when you see something that you like, it's going to be a thrill, no matter who you are. Unless you dead. Shit. But anyway. Alright, tonight we got a real juicy episode I think everyone will like. This is something that I think everyone has dealt with or will deal with sometime or another. It's just inevitable. Basically, well, let me just say the nice episode. Does a spouse have the right to say no to sex? I repeat. Does a spouse have the right to say no to sex? Now, if I was going to answer that question, the moral thing would be to say, yes, they do have the right. The human thing in me would say absolutely not. Let me elaborate on this. I think that it's two stages. When you're in a relationship, absolutely. If you don't feel like having sex, you don't have to have sex. You're in a relationship together. You don't owe that other person anything. There's no, there's no promises. You're just dating. It don't mean shit. When you take vows, it's different. You're making a commitment to that person to be with them for the rest of their life. And I think that comes along with it. If your husband wants to have sex, even if you don't feel like it, you should accommodate your husband. You should accommodate your husband. And vice versa. If your wife wants to have sex, even if you don't feel like it, which is highly unlikely on the man's side, but it does happen. But, if you don't feel like it, you should do everything in your power to accommodate your wife, to give her what she wants. That's your wife. That's your husband. She belongs to me. That's right, I said it. She belongs to me. She's my property. And I belong to her. I'm her property. So when I want some pussy, I expect it to be yes all the time. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not unrealistic. She's going to be sick sometimes, and she's going to be tired sometimes. Yeah, I get it. I'm not going to be trying to get no pussy when she got a flu or the pneumonia. Unless she almost over it or something. But, I'm not unrealistic here, But what I'm saying is, how many times saying no is acceptable? How many times getting turned down in a marriage for sex with your wife or with your husband, how many times is acceptable? 1, 2, 5, 10 times. How many times is acceptable? You have married couples out there right at this moment who haven't had sex in over a year. And that's fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You have couples out there right now who have not had sex in over a year. Some longer than that. Now, there's various different types of reasons and circumstances that might happen. Maybe it's the guy can't get his dick up. Maybe the woman feeling insecure of her body because she had a baby. There's all kind of shit out there. But tonight I'm speaking specifically on libido. I'm speaking specifically on the act of sex. How many times is acceptable to tell your husband no? How many times is acceptable to tell your wife no? How many times? I think that is, a lot of people say, well, you can't rape him. And absolutely not. If your wife says no, even if she's your wife, you can't take the pussy. You can't. That is rape. But how many times am I going to hear? How many times am I going to tolerate the answer no? A lot of times, I believe solely that infidelities get started from this. It's not because a man or a woman actually wants to cheat, but I think that they get caught in a weak stage, especially a man, because a woman is very perspective. A woman knows when a man is not getting enough of something. She knows when something wrong. A woman picks up on shit. That's why I'm asking you the question. How many times are you going to tell your husband no? How many times are you going to take that chance? 1 or 2, 3 times a week. I'm not, that's bullshit. But I'm talking about long term. You got some wives out there who haven't fucked their husbands in 6 months, a year, 3 years, or fucking once every 6 months and shit. Some crazy. You guys heard stories. And don't get me wrong, it happens on both sides with men not wanting to have sex. It does. But for the most part, it's the women who withhold sex, either for some psychological reasons or just for some material reasons. They didn't get something that they wanted, so they didn't give you no pussy. They get angry. You know how women are. But it happens on the women's side more often than men. Because men can be angry as, he can be terrible, mad at you. And if you offer him some pussy, he gonna take it. All right, don't you do that no more. Man ain't not gonna hold no grudges when you got pussy in his face. No. He'll forget about that grudge real quick. But a woman is different. A woman hold grudges against you. Most of them anyway. They get mad at you. They don't give you no pussy for weeks. You're in a quote-unquote doghouse. So my question again, how many times is it acceptable to say no? How many times do you expect your husband to tolerate that answer? And again, you have to be careful because a lot of women out there know when a husband is in the weakened stage. They know. Women are very observant. They know when a man is not getting something and they move in. Now, for you old timers know about Betty Wright. She made a song, The Cleanup Woman. And The Cleanup Woman, basically the song is a woman coming up behind another woman and taking their man. Because basically the first woman wasn't doing what she was supposed to be doing. And it made it easier for the cleanup woman. And that's what you women do. You women make it so easy for the cleanup woman. Especially when it comes to sex or sexual acts. You guys know, you women know your friends. You know they're very observant. You know they know men, they know weak men when they see them. And they determine if they like this man, they say, oh, he's not getting pussy. He's not getting his dick sucked. That's all? That's all I have to do to him is give him some pussy? The next thing you know, your man is cheating. He's getting him some pussy. You know why? Because you told him no too many times. You told him no too many times. And it's not necessarily that he wanted to cheat. He was just caught in that weak stage. He was just caught up. He was in a weak point in time, and some woman who was very observant took advantage of it. And I'm going to tell you something, ladies. If you let it get that far to where another woman actually moves in, and when I'm saying move in, I'm talking about is basically in a 3-point relationship now. Basically what I'm saying, she's fucking your husband too. Or your boyfriend. It's going to be very difficult to get her out of there. I'm not saying it's going to be impossible. No. It's possible. But it's going to be very, very difficult. It will be. It will be. Especially if she got some good pussy. Oh yeah. If you got some good pussy. Number 2, your husband or boyfriend don't trust you anymore. They don't trust you anymore. And what I mean by that, you withheld pussy from them for a month, 2 months, 6 months, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, whatever it is. You withheld pussy from them for a long period of time. They don't want to take that chance of that shit happening no more. They don't want to take that chance no more. So they're going to keep that number 2 around. They're going to keep that number 2 around. There's no trouble. The number 2's not costing them really no money for the most part. Not causing them any headache. They just go there, get some pussy, and they leave. That's a very good setup. For the most part. Sometimes they got to spend time with them and, do little shit, but they ain't doing nothing major for number 2 for the most part. So it's an easy setup. They getting cooked, meals, they get everything that you should be doing. They getting a belly full of pussy. They getting everything that you should have been doing. So yeah, it's gonna be once you let her in, it's like a parasite. You're gonna have you gotta get some specialized drugs, some antibiotics to get that parasite out of there. It's not gonna be an easy feat. Once you let that woman in, it's gonna be hard to get her out of there. It's gonna be very difficult. And like I said again, it happens on both sides. It's not just the women withhold sex from men. It happens in both men withholding sex from women. It does happen, but not as often as the women withholding sex from the men. And to be quite honest with you, if a man is withholding sex from you for a long period of time, a month, 6 months at a time, a year, then something's wrong with him. He's probably fucking somebody else. Let's just get it out there. If he's not fucking you, because that's not normal for a man. Like I told you before, it doesn't matter. A man could be stone tart angry with you, and if you offer some pussy, that's all forgotten. Don't you do that no more now. A man doesn't hold grudges when you throwing pussy in his face. So for a man not to want to fuck you for a long period of time, something's wrong. Something is deeply wrong. More than likely he's fucking somebody else. More than likely. So it does happen on that side, but it's not very often. More often it's the women withholding sex from the husband. So is it okay to say no? Absolutely. You can say no. It's your body. Even if, you're in a relationship, absolutely you can say no. But even if you're in a marriage, you can say no. It's your body. He can't rape. Your husband can't rape you. He can't take the pussy. So yeah, you can say no. It's your body, your prerogative. You're a grown woman. You can say no. You can. Absolutely. Is it right? I guess that's up to you. But my question is, the most important thing, you can say no. But how many times will you say it? How many times will you say no? And another more important question is, how many times will your husband tolerate the answer no? How many times? And I ask myself that, if I was married, and I like pussy, for those of you who know me, I'm a Scorpio, and I love pussy, especially hairy pussy with a little grit. Well, anyway, I'm getting off but I like pussy. So I put myself in that predicament. What if my wife told me, no for 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, and all that kind of shit. And I want to think that I would say, well, okay, I'll just be here when she comes around. But, you don't know what you'll do in that weakened state. It's like I said before, a lot of men don't go out looking. Well, some do. Some do. There's some dogs. Yeah. Some guys out there that's a piece of shit. But for the most part, most guys are not looking to cheat on their wives. It's just the state that they get caught in. Could you imagine that? A guy who's basically celibate, who's married, but celibate. Or absent and shit. He ain't getting no pussy. Imagine what kind of weakened state he's in. And for a very observant woman to come along who find that man attractive, for some reason, he got it going on, he got an education, he's very well mannered, he's a good guy, clean cut, nice. She finds him attractive. So she realizes that he's married. She said, well, damn, he's married, but I still like him. How can I get with him? Ladies, you know how it is. You've seen women, your friends, target men. How could I get him? And what they do, they strike a conversation with them. And like I said, women are very observant. They realize after a while, some are more observant than others. It takes a few more conversations than some. But eventually, they'll realize what they need to do to get in. And that's easy. oh, he not getting no pussy. He's not getting no pussy. He's not getting his dick sucked that night. Oh my goodness. Now there's different reasons. Oh, some might be, or he's going home to a woman that is lazy. Or he's going home to a woman that is very augmentative. Whatever the case may be. But tonight we're talking about purely sex. So a woman that's observant enough to realize that, oh my goodness, I like this guy, and that's all? He's not getting pussy? He's mine. That's what they thinking. He's mine. If that's it, that's all I gotta do is give him a piece of ass and suck his dick, right? And all that other stuff is bonuses. Cook him a hot meal, bathe him, and make sure he got somewhere to watch TV in peace and all kinds of shit. That's all I gotta do? He's mine. And once that man get the feeling that and get exposed to that, he ain't had no ass. I mean, I'm just speaking now. Look, be with me. Man ain't had no pussy in 1 year, 2 years. All of a sudden he getting all the pussy he want. Everything he want done to him. Getting his dick sucked. All kind of positions. Everything. Getting the bonuses. Getting cooked meals. Getting nice conversations without silly ass arguments. I mean, he's getting everything that he should be getting with his wife. So you think, when that man got caught in that weak stage, and now he's in a good place that he perceives as being a good place. He's still cheating on his wife. He's committing adultery, but he's not seeing it that way. He's seeing it as a good situation now. Everything's okay now. I can have my cake and eat it too. I can be married. She don't want to give me no pussy. All right, I got my number 2 over here, and she'll compensate for it. A lot of that is going on right now. And like I said, ladies, once you let a woman in your space, it's going to be very hard to get her out. Because that man is not going to trust you anymore. Literally, he's not going to trust you anymore. You don't want that happening to him again. You go on one of your trips, you don't want to give him no pussy for 5 years. He's not going to let that happen again. He's not going to get rid of that woman. That woman's treating him well. And he's going to remember what she did for him to get him out of that situation. He's not going to get rid of her. It's going to be hard to get rid of that woman, ladies, if it goes that far. So I ask you the question again. Does a spouse have the right to say no to sex? Absolutely, you have the right. You're a grown woman. Your husband can't rape you, and vice versa. Your wife can't rape you, blah, blah, blah. But it doesn't happen that way. Let's be honest. Men are not turning down pussy unless something's deeply wrong with them, or they fucking somebody else. It happens, but very rarely. Most of the time, it's the women turning down their husbands or boyfriends for sex. Do they have the right? Absolutely. They can say no. But my question is, how many times are you going to say no? How many times is your boyfriend or more importantly, your husband, how many times are they going to tolerate you saying no? How many times are you going to take the chance of saying no and letting another woman move in your space and clean your ass up? The cleanup woman. How many times are you willing to take that chance? That's something you might want to think about the next time your husband asks you for a piece of ass and you say no. That's something you might want to think about. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed tonight's episode of the XY Show. I know I did. glad to be back. No more hurricanes. Halloween is coming up, and when Halloween comes here, it's like next thing you know it's Thanksgiving. Next thing you know it's candy canes, Christmas trees. Next thing you know, New Year's. Next thing you know, hearts again. I mean, it's like a fast prelude now. But I love this time of year. I love the bird months. My favorite season is winter, which is in Miami. That's non-existent, but hey, it's still my favorite time of the year. It's the only time of the year that people are not as crazy. So I love this time of year. I think I might do a second bonus show for Halloween. I don't know. But I'm just so glad to be back. And always remember that you can catch the X and Y Show on a wide variety of different platforms. I'm on Blueberry. I'm on Google Play. I'm on TuneIn. I'm on iTunes. And did I say Google Play? Yeah, Google Play, Blueberry, iTunes, TuneIn, and Stitcher. I knew I was missing one. So I'm on all of those platforms. Pick one that's most convenient for you, the one that you like the best, and check me out. Make sure you subscribe and let me know how much you love me. I'm on also various different types of social media. I'm on Tumblr, I'm on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram as well. You can find all of that on my website, which is www.thexyshow.com. www.thexyshow.com. Everything is there, as well as the X and Y store, where you can find merchandise, coffee mugs, t-shirts, iPhone covers, Android covers. I got some new stuff coming in for Halloween, so keep an eye out on that. You can also say hello to me. Any constructive criticism that you might have, or any letters that you want to write to me, or just say hello. There's a contact form on the website as well, so be sure to do that. And without further ado, I guess that is it. So make sure that you catch me again in another 2 weeks of the XY Show, and make sure that you always keep abreast of what's going on with the new episodes and so forth that's coming down the pipe later. I guess that's it. So, I kind of hate to leave because it's been so long, but I'll be back. So, without further ado, I'm going to say good night, and I want you always to remember that you cannot have love without X and Y. Good night.
You've been listening to The X and Y Show with your host, Roosevelt Colbert, the place where real relationship issues are talked about and addressed. Join us next time. You can now put your clothes back on. Or not.